Okay, is this thing on? Hello?
Hello. The Automatic Diagnostic and Announcement System welcomes you to Space Station 13. Remember, have a secure day. Turn on your fucking suit sensors, or
Yeah.
clown will do the.
Okay. We're just gonna take off that for a sec. Hello everyone and welcome to my first mentoring of Maxcaps. My name is Damon Maxim. I will be your teacher today. Now, we're gonna need these 4 things. We're gonna need the analyzer. We'll need the screwdriver, the wrench, and the RPD. Now, I'm gonna have to ask you to have a little bit of knowledge in Space Station 13 for this tutorial. And I'll teach you a little bit about the RPD, but you should somewhat know how to use it. You also need a crowbar. Okay, we're playing on Delta Station here. Now, to keep things simple, I usually do use these two, because it's a little quicker. But the first thing you need to learn is this is the mixing chamber. Okay, and this is where we're going to pump in a bunch of oxygen, and then slowly pump in plasma. Then we're going to heat it up, and then we're gonna extract tritium.
New command report created.
So we're just gonna simplify this little setup here. Now I'm using the wrench to take it off. We're always gonna open interior. This one's always interior. That one's always exterior. Always. Gonna put this on max. Then we're gonna take apart this. Take apart this. So when the gases go in, heat them up, and when they come out, they get really hot. So what we have to do, we're going to use RPD. We're going to put some vertical straight pipes. Straight, straight. Just like a manual valve. You don't need to turn it on and off. Green. Go. Now on this side, we're going to get rid of this pressure because it's coming out really hot at high pressure, so we don't really want that. We want it to flow like this. Okay. And then might as well just wrench that right there. Now this is where we're going to put attach our freezer to, okay? So what we're going to do is this, every mixer has an atmos, I don't know what you call these things. I guess just a air alarm, I suppose, an air circuit. So you can look here, Toxins mixing chamber, scrubber. So we're going to go to the scrubber controls. We're going to put them on expanded. We're going to take off the CO2 and the business, or however you pronounce it. We're going to put on tritium. Alright? Tritium is what we want. So, usually most stations don't have 6 oxygen tanks. Delta does. Nice. Most stations have 4. So what we're going to do, we're going to pump in oxygen. Now I set this to fast as it can go, right? So it's going to try to pump them in pretty quick. So we have this set to tritium. I always kind of double check it there at the end sometimes to make sure I don't forget it. Now we'll just take our time doing this. I'm probably going to get yelled at. Headset on. Hit the light switch because I can't aim. Perfect. Okay, put in number 2. As you can see, it's all going through the pipe here. I use the scanner. I can scan the pipe. Pumped it. When you use an analyzer, it's going to give you the volume, the amount of moles or maybe molecules. I think it's just a way to measure things without temperature. The pressure, the oxygen, what it is. So if there's multiple things in it, it'll say multiple things, like oxygen, plasma, temperature of it all. Now I know it's empty because it beeped. So it flashed on me. It's gonna be number 3. So while that's pumping, we're gonna go down here. We're gonna screwdriver. We're gonna crowbar, and we're gonna wrench the frame. Now we're gonna pick up all this stuff that goes inside of it and move this over to here. We're gonna wrench it back down. Add the circuit board first. Whatever piece you want. Shift click it, it'll tell you what piece. Screwdriver. We're gonna screwdriver once more to kind of open it back up, and we're gonna use the wrench to spin it. Okay, perfect. Now this thing will have to get upgraded later with lasers, but we will worry about that in a moment. So we can get it down to 73 Kelvin. Okay, so we're gonna take that third one off. So there's 3 oxygen tanks right there. 1, 2, 3. Now what we're gonna do is go to this pressure pump, and we're gonna put it down to 50, super slow. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go grab some plasma. Then we're gonna wrench it in. Make sure that's on tritium. Make sure that's on slow. Now you see 2 things here. This one opens it. This one lights it. Press that. Light it up. Tritium there is the green. If we take our scanner and this pipe, and we can see that 100% tritium's coming out. Walls, the temperature, see how it's hot? Super hot, right? That's why we have the freezer, trying to cool it. Okay, so now what I like to do, as this is cooking, I like to go into the R&D room, and I need to print off some lasers to upgrade those thermal machines. So let's see if anyone's updated. So we're gonna go into the R&D console. We gotta look. Bottom. Here it is. We need industrial engineering. Okay, so we're gonna research that. Hopefully most people are smart enough to do that for us first, which is nice. Gotta put our materials in the autolathe. Synchronize the autolathe. This, right? Go to stock parts. Now I like to print off an RPD, a rapid part exchange device. Essentially, you put all the parts in it. All we need is, we need 4 lasers, but I like to 5. Then we can put those in the machine there. Now I also like to be lazy, but I'm not going to do it this time because I want to show you guys. But you can also print off empty tanks. So I won't do that. We're going to, because I need to show you all the steps. So each one of these thermal machines has 2 lasers that it needs to be upgraded. So we're just going to turn this off here real quick. We're going to open it up with the screwdriver. Now we can turn it back on, and now we can even get it lower. We can get it to 43 Kelvin. That's what we want. And we're also going to do the same to this one. Okay, beautiful. We can turn that one on. We can lower that. Turn that one on. Beautiful. So now what I do next is we need pure oxygen, and we need it super cold. So usually every Toxins lab has some sort of gas filter or a pump. You can make one using the RPD, or you can just, what's available? So this is a filter, but it still acts like a pump. It still pumps stuff at an alarming rate. So it's very easy. And we're going to put it in these things. These are called portable air pumps. I'll show you why we do that here. So wrench that down. So we don't need to filter anything. We're just going to kind of use it as a pump. So nothing filter. If I set it to oxygen on the filter, I'd have to put the tank here. Then it filter out. So you can tell it's going down. That it's there. Now we use this portable air pump because this has a unique feature where you can set how much pressure you want to pump out. We're going to set Portable air pump for the O2. In. I like to remember it in the tank. So when you put your tank, you attach your tank to this thing. You want to put stuff into the tank. So now that I'll show you here. Now that this is empty, 0 moles in this right here. It's all in this thing. Wrench it and we're gonna freeze it here. Bada boom. Take this because we don't need it. Our way. We're gonna place this yellow one. Now, some people will wait until all the tritium.
Detective is kill self.
That's how much tritium come out. Pumped in 3. Not much more tritium's coming. It's already frozen. That's okay. So what I like to do anyways is I like to just turn off the scrubber. Take that off. That's going to ensure that no tritium comes out of here. Now what we're going to do is we'll wrench this. So now we need an oxygen. I like to take 2 oxygen and 1 plasma, and I'll show you why. We're going to have a little bit of excess tritium. And we're going to take, when you get tanks from here, they're going to start out with stuff in them. That has 8 moles of plasma, and the other ones have oxygen. So we need to take all that out. We need to scrub them clean. So this huge air scrubber. So we're going to turn it on. Suck out all the gases inside. So you can see how I'm switching them here, like that. One smooth motion. Make sure you have the O2 set. And then another thing is don't eject with it on. Always turn everything off before you eject. Like just as a general rule, turn stuff off before you eject stuff. Otherwise you're gonna have a bad time. Okay, so 2 oxygen tanks. Now what we gotta do with the tritium is we gotta fill it up. You gotta have a ratio of cold tritium and cold oxygen. Usually a 2-to-1 ratio is the best. Now I know a little secret that if you just set this to 800, set it to in the tank. We're gonna load up a tank here. 800. Now I always like to check to make sure it's frozen, right? Minus 230 Celsius or 43 Kelvin. Then we're gonna go on. It's gonna fill up, hopefully to 800. You didn't get enough tritium. Probably because you didn't put it to expanded. Expanded is good. So now we're gonna turn it off. Eject. That's how much tritium we need. Right there. But now if we look, there's still gonna be tritium in the pipes. Right? We still got tritium in the pipes. Some people like to put a little volume thing here. But what we can do is just use the empty tank. Our secondary tank, and we can just fill that one up too. And it's not going to fill up as much. We're only going to have. But now you can see that it's all empty. All the pipes are empty. Make sure your pipes are empty. Because the next thing we got to do with these pipes is fill them with a different gas. And if they combine and mix, you're going to have a bad time. We'll turn that off. Checked. This is the extra tritium, so we're just going to chuck this over here. Okay. Make sure you have your analyzer. You can analyze everything. So we're going to take this 156 moles, minus 230 Celsius, 100% tritium at 800 kPa. We're going to take that. We're going to bring it to the cold oxygen. Now, by this time, this cold oxygen has also gone to 43 Kelvin. 100% oxygen, 43 Kelvin. We're going to put our tritium tank there. So we got our tritium tank here, 800. Want oxygen in the tank. We're going to put that to max. We're going to fill the rest of that tank up with oxygen. Turn it off. We're going to eject. Now if you look, I have about, there's a little more oxygen. 850 is usually the best one, but 800 works just as well. So it's a nice 3-to-1 ratio here of oxygen and tritium. And that's going to be your one side. Pretty easy. So this is the TTV. I'm going to grab a remote. Just set my number. Make sure you set a custom number to your remote, otherwise someone else will blow it up. You'll have a bad time. That's one's for me. If you want to put the remote on the TTV, you got to screwdriver it to attach it. So that's our TT with the remote, and we're just going to take the oxygen tank and flick it on there. Now, because I'm explaining things and I was too slow, the plasma's all gone. So now we're just grab one of these. Pop into the plasma. You should have plenty of plasma. Now remember, our scrubber's off. Now what I like...
You are good doctor.
Scientist. Now what we're going to do now is we need really, really hot plasma. And that looks like really, really hot plasma. Don't want to cool it, so I turned off the thermals. We'll go to our air thing again. And we'll go to our scrubbers. This time we're going to click plasma. We're going to no tritium, just plasma. We're going to turn that on. Now we can check inside these tubes. Now we have superheated plasma. Not a lot of it, but you don't need a lot of it. So now we're going to grab our empty. Can't see it's empty. Toss that in, and we're going to do max pressure of plasma, okay? We're going to turn that on. That's it. It's plasma. Not even a lot. 0.09. 100% plasma at an insane temperature. Okay, and we'll take this and we'll plop it on that side. Pick it up. Walk over here. Test range, we're going to drop it here on the launcher, the mass driver. And we're going to turn on the radio so we don't freak everybody out. Press the button. Launch it. We're going to go to here. We'll look at our testing site. We'll make sure it's here. Should always make sure it's there. Sometimes I've had people grab it and stuff. You never know what the hell happens in this game. We'll click it. Make our little thing. Oh, I don't have my radio on, so I can't. Take Maxcap's great again. Press the button. Alright. That's how you make a Maxcap, everybody.
Attention.